did money ruin your family? When my dad's business first began thriving, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. We were suddenly able to afford 3 meals a day, and kids in school stopped making fun of me because I no longer wore ripped clothes. Our dad quickly moved us into this much bigger home, where we had our own rooms and hot water all the time. On the outside, everything looked perfect, and at first, I thought it was. Sure, dad was suddenly super into his image, dressing fancy even around the house and going to events almost every night. I didn't notice how troubling that was until I saw mom crying one night. Through tears, she told me dad had canceled their anniversary dinner for some client meeting. I was only 12, but even I knew that was wrong. The real salt in the wound came a few weeks later. Dad had met a girl named Serena during that same client meeting he ditched the anniversary for. Serena was young, gorgeous, and knew exactly how to turn heads. Within weeks, dad announced he was leaving mom to marry Serena. Even I flipped out. I yelled at him that mom was there for him when he had nothing, and that Serena just came along. He couldn't just leave mom for some shiny Barbie he knew 2 weeks, but he didn't see it that way. He told mom in front of us that a man of his status needed someone who took care of her body, the way Serena does. I remember feeling so angry, watching mom cry silently as she packed her bags. Serena moved in with us a few days later, and life became uncomfortable really fast. Serena and dad always took fancy vacations, leaving me and my siblings alone for weeks at a time with nannies he had hired for full time. When they were home, we barely got any attention. Serena and dad were always out, horse riding, wine tasting, all the luxuries. We always wanted to join, and dad always seemed like he was happy, but Serena never let us. It was clear she never liked us, and with how easily dad was manipulated by her, he always did exactly what she said. What's worse, I could tell the reason Serena hated us was because we cost dad money. School fees, extracurriculars, it all annoyed her. So much so that she approached me one night and told me flat out to stop stealing his money, that it was for her, not me. I tried to talk to him about it the next day, but he just accused me of hating Serena because she replaced mom. That's when I knew there was no getting through to him, and then the inevitable happened. With dad and Serena's lifestyle, it didn't take long before money started getting tight. Their solo vacations downgraded from lavish resorts to budget hotels. The fancy restaurants they once visited almost daily became takeout pizza nights. As expected, Serena didn't handle these changes gracefully. At dinners, she openly mocked dad for being cheap or scoffed at the jewelry he bought. Dad always looked embarrassed, scrambling to keep her happy, constantly apologizing like a wounded puppy. It was around this time that dad started pulling us from our private schools and canceling our activities. Also, he could spend the money on Serena. My younger sister cried herself to sleep after losing her spot on the gymnastics team. My brother stopped talking altogether, retreating into himself. When I confronted dad about how much he was hurting us, he barely reacted. His focus was solely on Serena. One evening, as we were having dinner, dad announced he'd taken money out of our college fund because Serena needed a vacation to de-stress. That's when we knew we couldn't stay. The next day, mom welcomed us back with open arms. Her house was small, but it felt warm. Our days were simple again, doing homework at the kitchen table, laughing over silly things at dinner. Mom never said a bad word about dad, but sometimes I saw sadness flash across her face when she thought we weren't looking. A year passed quietly. We didn't hear much from dad, and honestly, we weren't sure we wanted to. Then one night, dad showed up on our doorstep looking like he'd aged 10 years. His clothes were shabby, and his eyes were tired. Mom hesitated, then let him in. He sat on the edge of our worn-out sofa, staring down at his hands. Slowly, he told us everything. He said that in the last year, his business had filed for bankruptcy, and that his money has officially run out. That's when he started crying and calling himself stupid. He admitted that the second he had nothing left, Serena left him. She apparently didn't even comfort him, literally started packing her bags the second he told her. It was honestly heartbreaking to watch our dad like that. By the end of his speech, he was red from crying and embarrassed, and he actually asked for a second chance, not just from us, but from our mom too. He wanted us to be a family again. The full story of the aftermath is on my channel and linked below.